the guy said something, and I remembered his voice.
They claim that they love me. Oh yeah, they just claim that they love me. I don't give a fuck. They get in the way of me running it up.
Hello everyone, and welcome to More Madness. So let's get straight into the video. I'm gonna tell y'all a story time about the time a stranger was in my house. So basically, one day I always used to go to my grandmother's house because my grandmother's dog was having puppies. So every day I would come to her house after school because she had her puppies, and the one that I wanted, my mom said I wasn't gonna get it, but the one that I wanted was the smallest one. Like it was like 3 of my fingers, like just this. It was literally this small, and I wanted her to get milk and stuff like that. Like, you know, the other dogs were bigger than her, so they would take all the nipples from her and stuff like that. So I would come to my grandma's house every day to make sure that that dog was okay and like she didn't die or whatever. Everybody kept telling me she was gonna die. No, she's not dead. She upstairs. So yeah, I would do that or whatever. This day in particular, I don't think I was going there for Oreo, is what I call her. But I don't think I was going there for Oreo. I don't know why I was going there, honestly. But basically, I went to my grandmother's house, and usually either my granddad takes me home or my mom picks me up. So I went to my granddad's house, and I didn't tell my mom. I doubt I told my mother. And then once I got there, I called her and was like, okay, so you gonna pick me up or whatever? She was like, no. She was like, ask granddaddy. So I asked granddad. He was like, I can only take you home if I take you home in the morning time. So I was like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, I realize I've got to sit here till the morning time. Like, I stopped going to my grandmother's house because I had to sleep on the couch. The Wi-Fi was so slow. They only got 2 TVs, and like the TV in the living room don't got no AC for real. Like, you gotta go. They have a TV in their bedroom. The bedroom, it be so cool. Like, it be feeling good. But if you're in the living room watching TV, they just got this fan right there, and it's like it just gotta blow on you so that it can keep you cool. Cause they don't like turning the AC on. Like, they only turn the AC on in their room. They don't like turning like the downstairs AC on. Like, literally till this day, it's covered with the curtains so that nobody knows it's there and they can't turn it on. Every time I ask to turn it on, I'll be like, do you pay the bill? I mean, no, but I'm kind of hot and you know I was coming, so can I at least turn it on for just a little bit? Because you know, I'm kind of sweating in this beat. Should feel me. But yeah, I was sweating down. Like, you know, like when you go to sleep and it's hot and you wake up sweaty. Oh my gosh, I hate that so much. To tell you guys, so you guys kind of understand, at the time my mom was like, I guess talking to somebody or whatever, but I had never seen him. Oh my gosh, let's say you hear somebody on the phone with your mother and you know their voice now, and then you go out in public and they introduce it as their friend, but they was just on the phone all lovey-dovey, and you heard their voice, you know their voice. Connect the dots. Boom. You cracked the case. But yeah. So, in the morning time, my granddad took me home or whatever. I came into the house. I cut the alarm off. So, we got an alarm because our house got broken into my freshman year. So, we got an alarm system. And, yeah, so I came in the house, cut the alarm on. Because if I'm in the house by myself, I always keep the alarm on, like, no matter what. My room is in the basement. So, that's kind of why I keep it on. Because, like, if somebody was to come in, the alarm would go off before I hear their steps even come in, you know. So, I don't know. I guess it's just an extra, like, I just know somebody's there. Okay, so, back to what I was saying. My room's in the basement. So, I came into the door. And, I go to the basement because that's where my room is. I'm just chilling. Like, I'm laying on the bed. I watch TV for a little bit. Then I go to sleep.
2 hours later.
I wake up. And I hear footsteps. And I'm thinking it's my neighbors for real, because my walls are thin. So, like, No lie, on numerous occasions recently, I've heard my neighbors. And if my neighbors are walking in their house, like walking up the steps, you can hear that. So I'm pretty sure if I'm walking up the steps, they can hear me or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's my neighbors. Just chill out, that's my neighbors. So I'm still watching TV and I'm like, this really sounds like it's in my house. Like, my eyes are starting to water. I was like, this really sounds like it's in my house. Like, I don't know what to do. And basically what I heard is, so we have 3 levels. On the top level is my mother and my brother room, and then they have a bathroom. The middle level is the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, and that's it. Then the bottom level is my room, the laundry room, my bathroom, and the family room. So I heard this person coming from the top level to coming down the steps, because I know people's steps. Like, I know my brother and my mother steps. If you live in a, I don't know, if you live in a basement, then I feel like you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know how that person walks, kind of. Like, my brother, whenever he walks up the steps, he runs. My mother, she like takes steady steps, I guess, down the steps. Like, I just know, I don't know. So I didn't hear these, I've never heard these steps before. So they come from the top level to where the door is, and I'm in my head visioning, they looked at the alarm system and then they just went straight back upstairs. Like, not straight back upstairs, they walked around kind of and then went upstairs. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? Like, I'm in a house with a stranger. I don't know their intentions. Like, what did they go upstairs for? Why did they come downstairs? How did they get in the house without me even knowing? So I start crying. I didn't know what to do at this point because we had got robbed. My freshman year, I always kept a skillet. I literally always kept a skillet by my bed or on my dresser. That's just me. That's just me. So I always kept a skillet. So I got that and I went to my bathroom. And I have literally like 1 bar, like no reception for real. And this is, oh my gosh, this is at the time I didn't even have an iPhone. Like, I think I had like, it wasn't a Blueberry, but it was like the phone, it was littler than my hand. It had a little screen and then it had buttons on it. So I went into my bathroom and went behind the door. And I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I called my mom. She didn't answer, so I called my grandmother. And I was like, Grandma, I don't know what to do with somebody in my house. Like, can you please help me? Like, I don't know what to do. Help, tell me what to do. Da, da, da. She was like, did you call your mom? I was like, yes, I called my mom, but she not answering. She was like, why didn't you call the police? And I was just like, Grandma, I don't know. Like, should I call the police? And she was like, yes, what's your address? And I was telling her my address. While I was calling the police, she was calling the police, giving them the wrong address. And this is literally what happened. So there's a little window in my shower or whatever. So I was in the shower and I had my phone by the window so that I could try to get some reception. Like, that's just what I was doing. So I called 911 and they was like, what did they say? What's your emergency? I was just like, somebody's in my house. And then they asked for my name, my address, and then they said they was basically saying that they would come or whatever, but it was going to take a minute. And then they said, can I call you back?
Oh, how I feel. Why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation.
My little heart started racing, and I'm trying to call y'all so y'all can bring y'all asses to my door and shoot this killer. And you saying, can you call me back? Like, no. So they hung up and then they called me back. And I was trying to hear them, but I couldn't really hear them. They couldn't really hear me. So minutes later, maybe like, I don't know how many minutes, maybe like 10 minutes later, they were at the front door, the police. They was knocking on the door. And I was like, they think I'm coming upstairs to open that door? Because the front door is in the middle ground. If I come upstairs while the killer coming downstairs, I'm dead. I'm dead. So Then they go to the back door, and from my window in my bathroom, I can see like who comes. I can see that somebody was like coming up the steps to go to the back door or whatever. I was like, I don't even want to go to the back door. And first of all, if I go to the back door, then my alarm is gonna go like sounding off, like it's gonna start screaming. But if you go to the front door, it'd be like what does it say? It say like front door open, dun 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 dun, something like that. So if it goes to the back, it just starts screaming, like it's a high pitched scream. So they go back to the front, and I was like, okay, Kymora, get your skillet. So I got my skillet. I walked up the steps. I was like, you're brave, you got this. So I walked up the steps, went to the front door, turned the alarm off and opened the door. And the police was like, what's wrong? I was like, I told y'all it was a stranger in my house. And it was like, where they at? I was like, upstairs. So then he told me to scoot back. And as he told me to scoot back, somebody was coming down the steps. So he was holding onto the gun like on his side as the person was coming down the steps. So I got so, when I tell you, I don't know how many tears dropped from my face at this moment. I got so scared, bruh. Like, the police was holding his gun, and I was right behind the police, and then the guy was coming down the steps. I did not recognize this guy at all. He was light skinned. He had cornrows in his hair. I was like, why is he in my house? The police asked me before he was holding on to, well, while he was holding on to his gun, he was like, do you know this guy? And I was like, no, not at all. The other police like moved me to the side, and the guy said something, and I remembered his voice. And the guy was like, I'm Kim's boyfriend.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
So the police that took me outside, he asked me what had happened or whatever, asked for my address again. Like, he wasn't at my house, but he just asked for my name and stuff like that. And I was like, I want this guy to go, like he's making me uncomfortable or whatever. So they made him get out of my house and like walk down the street far away from me. And then my mother finally pulled up. I don't know how she pulled up, because I never called her back and she never called me back. My grandmother probably called her while she was giving the police the wrong address and crap. So she pulled up, and I was, at this point, he was out the house and they let me go back into the house. But I was packing my stuff because I was fed up. I was like, this is not okay. Like, I just didn't feel like that was okay. Like, she said she didn't know like I was coming back home or whatever, but that's just not okay to me. So I was packing up my stuff, and I was like, I'm going to my grandmother's house, because I know if I go to my grandmother's house, the only people that's coming in there is my grandma and my granddad. And if they not coming, then nobody else is coming into their house. So even though I don't like my grandmother's house, that's exactly where I went. I packed my bag. This is what happened. My mom was sitting, when I was about to leave out, I told her to take me to the station. So I packed my bag and I opened the door. It's him and her just sitting on the porch talking. And I'm just sitting there like, and then she was like, you still want me to take you to the station? I was like, I wasn't gonna walk there, like, duh. So I got in the back seat. It's like a 2-door car or whatever. And I got in the back seat. He was sitting in the front. And she took me around the corner to go to the station. And I got on the train to go to my grandmother's house. As we pulled up to the station, she was like, this is probably too late. But Reggie, this is Kymora. Kymora, this is Reggie. I said, I don't care who he is, and got out the car and went to my grandma's house. I don't even remember how long I stayed at my grandma's house for real. It was probably for a day, to be honest, because I swear I don't like going over there for real. The only good thing about going over there is like seeing them and like them making you food, like whenever you want it. Baby, you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry, grandma. What you got to eat? Girl, I got pork chops, baby ribs, chicken, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Ah, dang, grandma, put it all on the plate. That's the story time. That's the story time. But yeah, that's the story time of when I called the police, when a stranger was in my house, when I was crying for my life, when I didn't know what to do, when I left home, when I could have got killed. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you love this story time. I don't think I really have any more stories to tell, but comment, like, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that bell. Click that bell notification, so when I post a video, it pop up like boom, 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 boom. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you really like this video, and I can't wait to show you more.